Ismir was a girl who often felt alone. With no real friends around her, she turned to social media for connection. Her phone became her constant companion, always in her hand even during school hours. Despite several warnings, her teacher finally confiscated the device. Frustrated and emotional, Ismir blurted out that her phone was her only friend. Concerned, the teacher contacted her father, an army officer, and asked him to visit the school. When he arrived, he didn't scold her. Instead, he spoke with patience and warmth, explaining that real friendship holds deeper meaning than anything found online. Ismir admitted she felt unloved and unwanted. Her father gently reminded her that her family cherishes her deeply. To them, she is as precious as a rare gem. He urged her to value herself and not seek love in empty places. Though touched by his words, Ismir struggled to change. Once home, she quietly returned to her room, drawn again to the digital world. She joined online chats, still holding on to the hope that anyone might tell her the words she longed to hear. I love you. One evening, Ismir receives a simple message. Good night. At first, she's irritated, finding it strange. But after a few days, curiosity wins, and she replies. The sender introduces himself as John, another lonely soul looking for someone to talk to. Ismir feels seen. Finally, someone seems to care. They exchange numbers and begin chatting constantly. John lives in France, while Ismir is in Izmir, Turkey. Though 3,391 km separate them, their bond grows stronger every day. What draws Ismir in is how John values her for who she is, not for how she looks. She feels understood for the first time. John soon becomes her emotional anchor. One day, he asks to see her face. Nervous, Ismir hesitates. She hides her blemishes under makeup, unsure of how he'll react. But when she finally shows him, John smiles and says she's beautiful. Ismir's heart soars. Later, she sees John's face for the first time and is taken aback by how handsome he is. Just then, a woman suddenly appears in his background. John quickly ends the call. A sharp doubt pierces Ismir's heart. Has John been honest with her? The next morning, after a night spent crying into her pillow, Ismir is gently awakened by her mother's voice. Her eyes are puffy, her heart heavy. Sensing something is wrong, her mother asks what happened. But Ismir, overwhelmed, brushes it off and insists it's nothing. Her father notices her mood, gives her a warm hug, and quietly drives her to school. The silence in the car speaks louder than words. On the way, Ismir's mind is consumed by thoughts of John, or rather, the person she thought was John. He must be living with someone else, she tells herself, bitterness rising. He lied. That same morning, John jolts awake from a disturbing dream of someone drowning. He's sweating, shaken, unsure of what it means, but he feels a strong pull toward Ismir. Later that day, when Ismir returns home, her phone buzzes with a message. It's from him. He finally admits his real name is Edge. Ismir feels shattered all over again. She tells him she can't keep talking to someone who has deceived her. Edge begs her to understand. His life is messy, full of secrets he's not ready to share, but he promises someday he will explain everything. Against her better judgment, Ismir gives him another chance. Their bond slowly returns to what it was. She smiles again, but deep inside, a quiet fear lingers. They meticulously plan every moment they spend together, no matter the distance, like synchronizing their movie nights. Watching films at the same time in cinemas miles apart. Even when the rain falls, Ismir asks Edge to extend his hand, imagining that they are standing side by side under the same sky, sharing the same drops of rain. It's a beautiful connection. But slowly, the physical distance between them begins to weigh heavily on Ismir. She worries that this gap might turn their love into nothing but heartache. In these moments of doubt, Edge reassures her, promising that one day they will be together in person. His words become a lifeline, a promise that keeps her going through the toughest moments. But just when things seem perfect, tragedy strikes. Izmir receives devastating news. Her parents have died in a car accident. The shock sends waves of grief through her, drowning her in sorrow. She remembers their warmth, their love, and her heart shatters. Edge, equally heartbroken, tries to comfort her, but Izmir is too overwhelmed to respond. Consumed by grief, she collapses and is rushed to the hospital. Her uncle suggests moving to America for a fresh start, but Izmir rejects the idea. She can't bear to leave her hometown, the place filled with memories of her parents' love. After much thought, Izmir decides to continue her studies in Istanbul. She moves into the university dorm alone, feeling a deep loneliness like never before. At the university, she meets Buse, a girl who understands the weight of hardship. Seeing Izmir's sadness, Buse becomes a friend who tries her best to lift her spirits. Izmir confides in her about her complicated relationship with Edge, and Buse encourages her to continue it, believing that love can survive even through tough times. Soon, Izmir reaches out to Edge again, and their connection is reignited. Edge learns of a celebration at Izmir's university and encourages her to enjoy herself. But before she heads to the party, Izmir can't hold back and asks him why he wasn't there for her when her parents died. At the party, things take a turn when a boy starts harassing Izmir. In that moment, Edge calls, and upon hearing the boy's laughter in the background, jealousy takes over. He hangs up abruptly, his emotions too much to handle. As Buse quickly pulls Izmir away from the situation, something unexpected happens. Buse suddenly collapses. Izmir's concern shifts from herself to her friend, as the party fades into the background and chaos fills her thoughts. Izmir rushes Edge to the hospital, where it's revealed that previous surgery has caused his physical weakness and bleeding. Later, back at the dorm, Izmir receives a package from Edge. She opens it to find a blanket with soft lighting, and she can't help but cry with joy. She immediately messages Edge to thank him, and he smiles at her happiness, though still feels uneasy about the boy laughing beside her. He urges Izmir to tell the boy she's in love with someone, but she explains she doesn't want to hurt anyone for no reason. Edge becomes frustrated and angrily ends the call. That night, Edge dreams of someone drowning. The next morning, filled with anxiety, he calls Izmir and confesses he's a killer. He tells her about a tragic incident in Turkey where he unintentionally took a life and had to flee to France. Izmir is shocked, but when she hears a gunshot, panic sets in. She pleads for him not to end his life. Edge cuts the call and refuses to answer her attempts to reach him. Overwhelmed by worry, Izmir immediately books a flight to Paris. Upon arriving at Edge's house, he opens the door, surprised yet happy to see her. Believing he had harmed himself, Izmir bursts into tears, scolding him for his actions. Edge reassures her, promising he won't hurt himself again. He opens up about his past, his family, and the series of events that forced him to flee to France. To lighten the mood, Edge decides to take Izmir on a tour of Paris, fulfilling their dream of walking together in the rain. They enjoy each other's company, but eventually, the time comes for Izmir to return to university. On her way back, she is involved in a serious accident and rushed to the hospital. Upon hearing the news, Edge arranges for his family to care for her. Izmir is taken to Edge's family home, where she is warmly welcomed by most except for Edge's brother, Ollie, who openly dislikes her. Edge's mother leads Izmir to his room, and she is delighted to be in his favorite place. However, she soon notices a photo of Edge with a girl named View, the same girl she had seen at the cafe. Izmir is taken aback when she hears the name. The next morning, Edge wakes Ismail and tells her he's willing to go anywhere for her. He reveals he entered the house secretly, so Ismail would be the first to see him. When Edge's mother sees him, she's surprised, but his father scolds him, warning that his actions could jeopardize the entire family. Even his brother Ollie criticizes him, accusing Edge of living a carefree life in France, while ignoring the hardships his brother faces. Despite the backlash, Edge remains firm in his decision and takes Ismail out for a fun day. Curious, Ismail wants to ask about Buse and Edge's past relationship, but Edge takes her to his parents' house to say goodbye to his memories. Before leaving, he picks up the bouquet his father had sent him, but he had ignored. It's then that he realizes how deeply his father loved him, though he hadn't felt it before, preoccupied with another love. After saying goodbye to his memories, Edge bids farewell to Ismail. To avoid being caught, he sneaks back to France by sea. Once in France, he invites Ismail to the cinema. But Ismail can't stop thinking about the photo of View with Edge, so she decides not to go and instead follows Buse to uncover the truth behind the story. What she discovers leaves her stunned. When she returns, Edge eagerly asks about the movie, and it's then that she realizes Edge knows she never went to the cinema. Edge accuses her of meeting someone else, and in her frustration, Ismail reveals that she went to meet View, his ex-girlfriend. She confesses her loneliness and her need for him. As they discuss her past and View, Ismail suddenly collapses from poisoning. At the hospital, Ismail feels abandoned by Edge, who hasn't even called or checked on her. She confronts him, saying, "You're angry at your father, but you're just like him. You want to control my life." They return to square one. Ismail resumes university, now focusing on her scholarship. Meanwhile, View reappears and secretly strikes a deal with Ollie, Edge's brother, to carry out a plan against Ismail. It is eventually revealed that Ollie was behind all the troubles because he secretly loved View. However, when she rejected him, Ollie sought revenge on his brother. He becomes furious when he sees Edge defending View. In a fit of rage, he drowns the boy who had been bothering View in the pool, intending to frame his brother for the crime. Later, Ollie confesses to View that he was behind the entire scheme. The police arrest him, and Edge is cleared of any wrongdoing. Yet, Edge decides not to return to his country, as his brother had turned his life into a cruel trap. Upon hearing the news, Ismail travels to France to reunite with Edge. Together, their love triumphs over all obstacles. I hope you enjoyed this introduction. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give me your support with likes and comments.